Okay, you guys, another video of Watch Talk and Act. I do not know who this person's profile is, but we're going to listen
Hi.
to this.
So, I'm making this video because I went to the protest yesterday that got kind of taken over by Antifa, and a lot of what I saw is just being portrayed as if it was a bunch of transphobes that were having a problem with just trans people in the locker rooms, and Antifa is making themselves out to be the heroes who got rid of the transphobes. But that's not really what's going on, because this happened to me. In January of 2020, I thought it would be cute to take my daughter on a spa day. So we went to We Spa in Koreatown. It's on Wilshire and Rampart. And, well, let me just show some of the pictures I have here. So this is my daughter. I blocked her face, obviously. She's got the little yellow We Spa shirt on, and she's got a little stuffed animal there. So she was 6 years old at the time. And then this is both of us, and she's got her little We Spa shirt. So 6 years old. And this is a Korean family spa, so there's children there all the time. This is the children's section at We Spa. They have like a whole little playroom. And so this is her in the little playroom. So that was in January of this year. And like I said, it's a Korean spa, so everyone's naked. And I wanted to be kind of culturally with it, so we also were nude in the women's side of the spa. And there's little girls who are naked with their older Korean grandmas who are naked. And the women's section has like hot tubs and like massage areas, and everyone's nude. And this is my first time. And, like I said, I was kind of uncomfortable, but I was like, okay, well, this is how they do it. And, we were trying to kind of have the experience. So we got into the hot tub, my little 6-year-old daughter and I, and we were having a great time. We were in there with other women, when a person, I guess, with a penis and a beard came over with two girlfriends. They appeared to me to be lesbians with tattoos and colored hair, and they appeared, the three of them, to be kind of progressive activist types. They came in with kind of an entitled attitude, and they sat down on the edge of the hot tub where I was with my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, who was naked. And the person with the penis sat down on the edge of the hot tub with just fully on display, with his genitals fully on display. And so me and the other women in the hot tub kind of looked each other in the eye, and we just kind of made this face like, what the heck? And we're motioning to my daughter, I'm motioning to my daughter, and the women in the hot tub are like, I know, what the hell? And we were just uncomfortable, and I was trying to block my daughter from seeing the penis on the person with the 5 o'clock shadow, who was not trying to look like a woman at all. And we got out of the hot tub, and I walked away, and I thought I spoke to like a different woman, and this other woman said, they spoke to this person about covering up, but they refused. And I felt kind of horrified. I could see like the older Korean ladies peeking out from behind the kind of panels of the showers, trying to cover themselves up with a towel. All the women were uncomfortable. No one wanted to say anything. Everyone in LA is pretty progressive. I'm a registered Democrat. I've been to gay pride. I have no problem with gay people. I have no problem with trans people. This is different. This is different. My daughter is 6 years old, and she was like nude, and this person wasn't making any attempt to look like a woman whatsoever. They walked in with the most entitled attitude, almost like spreading their legs on purpose, with these two other very progressive, activisty looking women into a Korean spot. It's really, really, really Korean too. They didn't care about making the old Korean ladies uncomfortable. They just walked in almost hoping someone would say something. So I was uncomfortable. I left with my daughter and went downstairs to talk to someone at the front desk, and they apologized. And I got these 2 free passes to Wi Spa because I was upset. So that's what they gave me, and they said sorry. And then I spent the next day just really feeling horrible. It took me the whole day to even tell my husband what happened. I didn't want to say what happened. I couldn't really talk about it without crying. Like I said, I've been to Pride on Santa Monica many times. It's fun. I have friends where no, this isn't about that. And I hate that the Antifa people are trying to pretend that everybody who has a problem is a homophobe or a transphobe. That's not true. And yesterday I went to the protest and I saw them being violent to all these normal people and ripping signs out of their hands and throwing things at them and attacking people who were taking video who weren't on their side. So I hid my sign because I didn't want to get beat up.
So that's pretty much it. I don't know who this person is that showed this video with their, little logo or whatever. But anyway, but I am sharing the video with you guys, so I'm watching or whatever. Let me say this, because this stuff gets deep. People, this stuff gets deep. It's. Where do we even start? First off, okay. I already talked in another video about how there's a plan to depopulate the world. Homosexuality is a part of that. Now, if you want to know about part of one of the people who started this stuff, Henry Kissinger, with the homosexual agenda, he played a huge part in that. We'll say that. Another thing with BLM and how analogous it is with the homosexual agenda, how it was never intended to make awareness for so-called black Americans in this country. BLM has never, ever been a representative for the deaths of black people. But it sure did try, It was never about the black family structure. And I don't want to sound prejudiced on this video, but we're just going to say what the facts are. I'm not going to give you any more proof. There's been too many times in life where I've given people documentation, proof, all that stuff, and still people deflect and try to take the truth for a lie, even though you've proven it to them. It's like this cognitive dissonance, passive aggressiveness that people give once you show them the truth. It's pretty sick. Now, when it comes to this homosexual agenda, you have to be very careful. What's going on right now is they're putting up blackness first, but in this regard, they're using black people wanting to have their own as a front to replace it with homosexuality. And what I mean by that is this. For instance, say for instance a person who, let's use this example, Rachel Dolezal, right? Even though we know she's a Caucasian woman, she used lying she she used herself as a so-called black woman. She eventually lied and said that she was a black woman. And when she was caught up in that lie, she said, oh, well, I feel black because of XYZ experiences and all this other stuff, right? The same thing is going to happen with homosexuality. And we can see this unraveling before our eyes, people. Transgenderism, right? When people were talking about homosexuality and things like that nature, a lot of these people who are cross-dressers, homosexuals, things like that, they're going to say, I feel like a man, I feel like a woman, even though they're the actual opposite sex that they're claiming to be. So a man wanting to be a woman, in his mind, he's a woman, even though he's physically a man. He's going to dress like a woman because he feels mentally like he's one. The guy who was claiming to be, I think he was like 8 years old and he had these parents or something like that. And he plays with kids and all this. And I think he had a background anyway, and not a good one. With pigtails and all that good stuff. A grown man talking about how he mentally feels like an 8-year-old child and all this foolishness. These people who have these mental problems use this as an excuse in order to commit pedophilic crimes. You have to be very careful, people, with your children. The indoctrination and the social engineering, how they're going to normalize pedophilia, is about to take a huge turn into this country. I mean, it goes beyond morality, people. Now, when it comes to morality, the morale of this country is deteriorating on purpose, because if you can break the spirit of people in this country, meaning their righteousness of what God is within them, if you can break that, slowly but surely all the things that have been built up will come tumbling down in this country, whether it be government, different facets of life that people use in order to sustain what is considered a community. The fact that these things are being used and utilized and put to the test and actually are succeeding, we're allowing ourselves to be far gone, people. Our children are our future, and if these children are going to be touched by adults and be seen as a normalcy thing, this president that we have now in office, he's allegedly a pedophile. I hope you guys know that. Allegedly. But people saw him as the lesser of the evils, even though Trump was actually the lesser of the evils. And I don't like either one of them. Both of them are racist. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. Biden has done far more worse to harm certain people than Trump has. But both have exercised their forms of racism throughout time. But Biden has done far more worse, especially with that crime bill. Man, did he do a number. And people just don't get it, So pedophilia is being normalized. Homosexuality is being normalized because of depopulation agenda. They want these things to come into fruition for a reason. Your life has value, people. It doesn't matter what color you are. It has value, but use that value of your life to do things a certain way. You don't have to be a spiritual, righteous person to know that something is wrong and right. But be righteous by yourself first and foremost. If you don't want to be righteous according to what the Bible, the Torah, or all these other spiritual books or whatever, you know what I mean? If you don't want to be righteous according to those things, be righteous according to yourself. Understand that there are rights and wrongs in this life, people. I mean, when I see stuff like this, it's sad. And what's worse is now she's getting a taste of her own medicine, because what did she say? She supported the homosexual move. She went to some of the festivities that they had, the marches or whatever they did for homosexuals. But now the chickens are coming home to roost and she's not liking it. And that's why when I see these people getting upset about all these track meets, things like this, why? What are you getting upset for? You're getting upset because a man is actually beating women in their own sport? You're getting upset by a transgender man beating women in the sport that women want to just compete in. Isn't that homophobic? That's what you guys always say when somebody's trying to tell you right about men should be competing with men, women should be competing with women. But it's homophobic now all of a sudden. Or should I say it's not right all of a sudden when a man is actually competing against women, but using the veneer of being a woman, transgender, surgically doing things themselves, or maybe even putting on a wig and some makeup to appear to be as a woman, but not removing those body parts. I mean, people, you can't make this stuff up. It's getting bad out here, people. There was something else I did want to say. Oh, watch yourself in these Korean shops. Be very careful. Some of them are recording your children. Some of them are recording you between their legs. They're online, sending sexual information to people who like stuff like that. Watch your children in some of these spa places. You can watch the videos. I think there's something that happened here in Texas where a woman, and her daughter were actually being recorded by some of the people that were inside the shop. I think it was a nail shop in particular. But yeah, be very careful. It's scary out here. Watch your kids, man. Watch where you're going. Some of these places are just be careful. Protect yourself. Do what you can. Fight against this stuff, because this is nothing but evil. It don't matter if it's from the left or the right. It's evil in general. Anyway, y'all, watch, talk, and act. That's what this is about. And don't just act. Create solutions. Fight against this stuff. Create solutions, because it is your life.